Halloween's around the corner, so I have an excuse to make weird stuff, you know? And that's why we make this today. We're going to create a creepy chest using air dry clay, and to give it an extra eerie touch, we'll be adding some guts and brains. In this episode we will work with some clay, both air dry clay and polymer clay. So let's get started. Hey, I'm glad you could join me today. Welcome back. I hope this video relaxes you, help you fall asleep, or maybe you craft along with me. Whatever you do at the time, please enjoy the next couple of minutes. Today, we start this video with a bit of mathematics. Just kidding. I'm only mixing two colors to get a nice dusty pink. With this color, we can now create some small brains, because, you know, some creatures do have small brains. Like humans. I start by making a coffee bean, then roll a string of clay and attach this to the bean in wobbly strokes. I also decided on making two halves of a brain, like one was cut open. So again, coffee bean, wrap the worms around, press the worms down a bit, and you're done. And here's your finished brain. Now on to the next step. After the brains have been baked, they get a coat of a dark red wash, made out of red, black and green, so it gets a dark reddish brown. Wow, that looks like a bloodbath. I'm sorry. So, next up I use this air dry clay. What I intend to do is gonna be way too messy, so I better get my clothes on. To shade this clay, I'm going to add some red acrylic color to it. This clay will take the color well and gets a nice purplish red once it's mixed, which is a nice color for what I want to sculpt next. This color is good, so let's see if we can make some guts from it. For said guts, a roll of clay gets tangled up. That's our first one. I placed them in this vessel so that they could dry in this exact shape.
Oh, wait, what's that you got right there?
What? How can you pause my video? I was just onto something. I was just talking.
Alrighty, I posted. You know this is the meta.
The meta? Oh, but you look cute, so go ahead.
Oh, I'm delighted by that. Thank you. Let me ask you what that is, and then you shall continue crafting.
This is the chest I was just about to show you. We will see how I made this in a second.
What do you mean by you? Do you mean the viewers, or do you mean me?
Both.
Okay, fine. I'm invested.
Okay, glad to hear that. But first, let us color these wormies. For coloring, I use the wash I also used for the brains. Here's the before and after washing. And now, let's paint the rest of them. I want to take this moment to thank the craftsmen. I really appreciated that. Hello to those who are here because of this post. I'm glad you found your way here and I hope to entertain you enough to stay. Now, as I said, here's how to make the chest. I'm using some XPS foam to make the base shape, and then parts get refined by using a hot wire. Now they need to get hollowed out. Here it is, fully hollowed. After I bring it to a rough shape, I sand it down. For encasing the chest with some wood, I now make some panels from the air-dry clay. I press it down and then roll it out, as sculpting tools have the potential to be utilized for purposes that are not intended. Using water helps giving the clay details, especially when it's warm outside. Clay dries easily and way too fast, so this helps reviving the clay a bit. I found out that one of my sculpting tools had a wood print on it. I tested sculpting the wood grain with the silicone tool and then tried to use the wood stem tool. I like the second one better, so I combined both of these techniques. I am proceeding the same way for all the other panels. Once they are sculpted out, they can dry in the sun. Now that they are all dry, I use some PVA glue to glue them onto the chest. I'm adding a piece of clay to the inside and then also detail that as well. Same goes for the lid. These feet are now attached to every other corner. Thank you, Fred, for keeping an eye on that, but I will need to take it from you in order to paint it. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's time to paint the chest a nice dark brown. I think this color works quite well with the wood grain. First, we want colors that are sharp and blocky, like base colors. The details are going to be added later. Details like the wash and dry brush will be applied after that. To add some depth to this wood, we want to add some dry brush to it. Fred, what do you think? This is the before and after.
Yeah, this really makes the details pop.
Indeed, this really brings out a lot of the details. And this is what it looks like before and after applying a wash. Now this adds even more depth. I'm sorry Fred, depth. Because the dark wash sneaks into every nook and cranny, depth. That's what I wanted to say, not depth. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the whole point. Okay. Finally, the chest gets painted golden. But we still need a mechanism to open and close the chest's upper part, the lid, if you will. This should work, but details are needed anyway. For attaching these hinges to the chest, I wanted to give hot glue a try. I thought this could work, but it needed a little support from my beloved friend, the super glue. With the last thing added, we can proceed to the Glamour Shots. It is chunky and stylized, but that's what I wanted it to look. But I think it looks cute, so let me know what you guys think and maybe keep an eye on to my next video. That's just a small hint. Hope I see you again next time, but until then, stay creative.